This is the village of Lane Cove in Sydney's suburban North Shore, and hidden away down Burwood Lane off the main street is a small wine bar and restaurant, Little Red Robin. Owned and run by Alessandro Nelli together with head chef Alberto Ranalli, Little Red Robin serves contemporary Mediterranean dishes complemented with a wine list drawn from around Europe. Alessandro was born in Tuscany, schooled in Switzerland and moved to Australia in 2001. With over 20 years experience in managing restaurants including Lucio's in Paddington, he brings his passion and memories of great Tuscan food and hospitality to this little part of Sydney. Alberto Ranalli has worked in London and Bologna as well as at Est in Sydney before joining Alessandro to head up the kitchen. Alessandro, Alberto, welcome to GNM.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell us, what's your general philosophy on food and wine?
Where do we start? My general philosophy on food, especially wine, is that it's an experience, and it's our duty to take people on a journey that involves interesting dish, sourcing produce that is mainly exceptional, and that we treat the produce with the utmost respect, and also in terms of putting together a wine list. Similarly, although it's something that we don't sort of handle, we're more sort of curators of, if you will, but sort of giving something to customers that they can experience something new. They can experience something slightly different, whether if it's something that they're familiar with, but it's proposed in a different style, or whether if it's something that they may have never tried before.
And what was your original vision for Little Red Robin?
My original vision changed a lot through the years when I was sort of thinking one day I'll open my own restaurant, as well through the process of setting this up, especially once all the staff members came on board. Alberto, Carl at the bar, Douglas, Francesco, and others. I feel that the restaurant has now taken its own entity, its own sort of vibe, and it's sort of going from there and developing into something new, something in a way different from what I had preconceived.
So it has changed a bit as
it is changing. It's evolving,
yep.
And it's it's a combination of all the different individuals that sort of put in their efforts and what inspires them, just like what inspires me. What we put into this, it sort of develops into its own thing.
And you're obviously in a slightly difficult location at the moment. It's a little bit of a building site on the opposite side of the road. What are some of the challenges of running a restaurant in the suburbs like this?
I wouldn't know, because this being my first, every single challenge is a new one, so I don't really have any challenges that I'm particularly facing with opening a restaurant here. It's the day-to-day challenges of opening a restaurant to me at the moment.
Okay.
So.
How would you describe the offerings at Little Red Robin, the food, because you're matching food and wine, generally speaking?
Yes.
And do you try and match a sort of terroir style?
I generally try and match a wine to a customer.
Okay.
More so than the actual food itself. I am a firm believer that although there are sort of rules and things like that, I am a firm believer that you drink what you like with what you like. So I try and interpret to the best of my abilities what somebody's looking for in a wine, and I try and match it up to what they're looking for. If they're a little bit more adventurous or a little bit more conservative, let's say. I mean, I do get it wrong sometimes, but generally I am able to introduce someone to something new.
And so, Alberto, are you matching the food to Alessandro's wines, or are you also going for the customer?
Well, look, we always trying to collaborate every time we have to do a new dish. We're always trying, and like he said, the same thing he does with wine, I'm trying to do it with food. So I keep in mind what kind of people live in the area, therefore I try to match the food with the people as well.
So as a suburban restaurant, do you have regulars that you have to sort of continue to provide
Yes.
the same dishes to?
Yes, we do get regulars, and that's why we're trying to change the menu quite often. We're aiming to put a new dish on the menu every week.
Okay.
So it's not a seasonal menu. It's more than that.
And do you have a signature dish?
Not. I mean, I do not have a signature dish. I don't like signature dish. I like to. As soon as I see something that's selling quite a lot, I'll change it. I'll take it off the dish because I don't want people to get always the same dish. I want them to keep them interested in what we do.
All right, that's interesting. Do you think restaurant styles are changing a bit? Do you think we're going a little more casual, a bit more to that bistronomy style? I guess this is a wine bar restaurant. That is the case.
Well, look, I reckon Sydney and Australia in general, they have their own kind of fine dining. We'll call it a fun dining. It's fine dining, but at the same time, it's not the fine dining I know coming from Europe. So look, for me, it's the best place in the world right now for our industry because it's evolving every day, and I can tell by other chefs looking at what we do here in Australia.
Okay. What advice would you give to someone starting out new today?
Oh, okay. I recently started myself because I consider myself as young. But yeah, for what I would suggest is find a mentor, stick with him, because I reckon it's the most important thing in the industry. Yeah, just, work hard, and that's it.
Alessandro, do you have what advice would you give?
I agree with Alberto where he says find a mentor. I think that's crucial. It has been to me, and someone who's able to sort of. It's a labour of love. This is an industry where it's absolute passion, which is key to it. To be able to do it, whether if it's successful or not, I quite frankly can't tell you yet. But it's definitely something that you need to have passion, and you need to have that love for it to sort of translate into your venue what it is, what your ethos is, what you believe in, what you think is, like Alberto saying, fun food, fun dining, what it is to you. And it's generally like you are hosting people in your own venue, so it needs to transpire somewhat of you, and as I mentioned before, what it becomes as a team. I think that is very important. It's good to have your team transpire through what you do, the different individual nuances of the people that work in a venue, although they can sometimes be frustrating, but and it's fun. It's fun to live, it's fun to enjoy, it's fun to see people leave with a smile and return with the same smile, and that's what we see with some of our most regular customers, and we love welcoming them back, and there's no gratification bigger than that.
That's great. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank
you
you for your time. And it's clearly worth a diversion to Lane Cove to Little Red Robin.
We hope you do. Thanks.